Okay, so I filmed a TikTok of this, but I didn't have enough time to talk because there was a 10-minute limit. And I read, well, I didn't read a lot of books, but to me it was a lot. So my goal is to read two a month, because I like to read two books at once. So I read 24 books this year. Yay! I usually like to read a classic fiction book along with a like contemporary, like honestly kind of sometimes trashy, sometimes not book because I just think it's more fun that way. You know what I mean? Like I can switch back and forth between modern language and then something that's really old. Okay, so I'm not going to do this in order. I'm just going to do the books I read like physically first, and then I'll talk about the books I read that like were either library books or were online, so I don't have like with me. Okay, so one of the first books I have here is Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. Um, I actually love books where the main character is evil or like is a villain and stuff, or is morally gray. I did not like this one that much. I mean, I thought it was okay. I think I gave it probably 3 stars, 3.5 stars. But like, I think one of the things is because I'll talk about this later with another book I had. I have to understand, or it has to be believable that people would hang around this bad person. Because when you read something, like, okay, one of the books I'm reading later is My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Like, I understand, even if she's a bad person, I understand her relationships and they feel like realistic to me, at least to an extent. But this one, I didn't really feel that way. It just wasn't believable to me that people would hang around her. Like, she also wasn't like a fun perspective to read from. Like, she wasn't charismatic, she wasn't funny. Like, there was nothing that like made her a fun person to read the perspective of, which is like it's usually why I like to read from villains and stuff, because they're usually fun, like they're usually like like, you know what I mean, they have that charisma to them, and she did not have any charisma. So I thought it was a fine book. But yeah, oh, I forgot to talk about what it's about. Basically, this girl is like a photographer, like a nude photographer for like men, and she gets obsessed with this one dude. I mean, sounds so good, just didn't like it that much. Okay, I also read Mademoiselle de Maupin by Gautier. I thought it was so good. I loved this book so much. It's okay, so basically it's about this couple and this guy and girl, and it's an old book. I'll put like what year it was made in, and the guy and girl, they fall in love with this other man. Both of them do. They both fall in love with this other man. But it turns out that man is actually a woman dressed up as a man. So yeah, I loved this book so much. It was so interesting, especially like I just loved the way he described stuff. I thought it was so beautiful. And I feel like a lot of times in old books, like when I read controversial opinion, like when I read Picture Dorian Gray, like I felt like the flowery language was like too much, but in this book it was just enough, and it was so good. It never felt like it dragged on. And I also felt like it was just such an it's so interesting to hear about like sexuality stuff like that, but like back then, especially when you hear about him talking about how he thinks he might be like a woman sometimes. I don't know, there was like a line in that, but I loved it. So yeah, I ordered this off eBay because this is the edition my book my school had, and I loved it so much. Yeah, I think this book is beautiful. Oh my gosh, there's even a part where like he describes how he wants his woman to be like draped in like pearls and diamonds and stuff, and like on silk, and I was like, yes, that's how I want. That's my dream. Okay, so next we have War and Peace. I feel like this is low-key cheating for my reading goal because basically I read most of it in high school, like when I was a freshman or something, and then I had like kind of this much left, and I just finished the book up because I actually really like this book. It just is a lot to get through. So yeah, I don't really understand why this book has so much hate. It's really not boring. I feel like it's really interesting. And also people complain about the characters having multiple names, but it's not that hard. So like Pierre, you have Pierre, Peter, I don't think they call him anything else. Natalie, Natasha, Natalia. See, I don't think it's that hard. Andrew, Andre. Does Pierre have, I feel like Pierre has another, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's that hard to like remember. Honestly, it's the last names that are hard with. Like, I didn't have trouble with the people with the first names, but like all the and also I didn't really like the military stuff. The most interesting stuff to me was like, well, later on in the book, the military stuff gets interesting, but like in the early parts, low-key, all I was interested in was the drama that the people were having, because that was good. But yeah, I really like this book. I feel like more people should, I feel like a lot of people have read this, so I don't know why I'm saying I feel like more people should read this, because a lot of people have read this, but like I really liked it. I think it was really good. Okay, so the other book I read is My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I thought this book was so good. It's not the best book I've read with like and like a kind of morally gray, not that good person main character, but like I really liked it, and I thought like I don't know, I just enjoyed. It was just kind of funny, and it was so interesting to hear her talk about like how she is drugged out all the time, like trying not to think about anything. I don't know. It's just interesting. And compared to like Boy Parts, I feel like it was realistic. Her relationship was realistic. Honestly, she only had one relationship where the other person seemed to like her at all. And even then it was like weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was strained, and if it just felt like I understood it, and I also like um I felt like the main character at least had some charisma and stuff, and like I could understand why people were around her a lot. So yeah, I really liked it. I think I gave it a. I don't remember what I gave it. I'll put all of my scores up because I don't remember. I kind of hate how Goodreads doesn't do half scores. Why does it not do that? Even Letterboxd does that. But yeah, so this book was good. The ending was interesting. I don't know how I feel about the ending. Some people said they predicted it like really early on. I didn't, and then I read it, I was like, what the heck? I think I forgot what year it was set in, which is why I was like surprised. Okay, so also I read The Flowers of Buffoonery by Osamu Dazai. I loved No Longer Human so much. I want to read all his books. So I read this one. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's not as good as No Longer Human, which like that's my favorite book ever, so it would be hard to top that, but yeah, it was still pretty good. I was actually surprised that like the main characters had the same names as No Longer Human. I don't know why I didn't think they would. But yeah, it was super interesting. Not as good as the first one. I want to read all his books definitely though. Okay, I also read Dungeons and Drama, which I bought it because I saw the cover and I thought it was really pretty, and then I saw it was a Dungeons and Dragons one, and I love Dungeons and Dragons, so therefore I had to get this. But what's funny is it actually has a lot of tropes I don't like. First of all, I hate high school romance because all I can think whenever I read a high school romance is like, oh, okay, well, you guys are gonna break up in like 5 years. Like, okay, well, so what's this relationship gonna last like 3 years? I don't know. I like maybe this is just because I feel like it's just because I'm a romantic, but like I like to read books where I'm like, okay, this couple's gonna be together forever. But like whenever I read a high school romance, I'm like, okay, so how much longer is this gonna last? Because it ain't gonna last that much longer. So like it already has that. And then I also hate fake dating. I don't know how I missed that it was fake dating, but like it is fake dating. And I usually don't like that, but I actually really like this. I thought it was really cute, and also the characters are very cringe. But I was in theater and in band, and like the way they were cringe reminded me of that when I was in high school. So like I honestly kind of like it, I kind of liked it. Like it made me like it just reminded me of that, so I just thought it was fun. I also read Remarkably Bright Creatures for my book club. I thought it was fine. It has really good reviews, so maybe this is like controversial for me to say, but like I didn't like enjoy it that much, honestly. I thought it was just okay. I think I really liked Marcellus though. He was like my favorite to read the perspective from. Honestly, I think this book made me cry when I first read it, but yeah. So Marcellus though, I always said if I get a orange cat someday, I'm going to name him Marcellus just because of this book. I think the reason I didn't like this book is because I didn't like certain characters, specifically the one dude. I don't remember his name, but like I didn't like him. I also felt like I predicted what was gonna happen before it happened. What is that guy's name? Cameron? I did not like him that much. Like I was not into that. And even even that other lady who's the other lady? Tova. Like she annoyed me too at certain points of the book. I don't remember why. I think I talked about it in book club, so like I don't remember my grievances too much, but yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I thought it was fine though. I also read Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I liked the first book more than this one, but I do still really like this one because the first one was really good. So it's like probably hard to like compete with that, but I liked I like that it was more romantic though. That's one thing that I will give it over the other book, is that it's a little more romantic because, you know, but yeah, I still really liked it. I thought it was a good book. This is the last book I read of okay, let me go over the second to last. This is the second to last book I finished for the end of the year for December. It was Titus Andronicus by Shakespeare. I only read it because I knew that what's it called? Oh, I knew that Sweeney Todd was based off of this, but like because the eating people in pies and stuff, honestly, they deserved it. I could not stand the goths, like genuinely terrible. I heard that this book is basically like Shakespeare was like trying to put every bad thing into a book, or like it was him trying to be a tragedy. So that's why it has so many like so much like stuff in it, but it literally just made me so mad. Like they like I was so happy when they died. And then also Aaron, that was weird because they were super racist to Aaron. So like I felt bad. Like he literally says at one point in the book, is black so bad at Hugh, about his like love child with the one lady. Oops, sorry, spoilers. But yeah, so like that's what he says about them, and like I want to feel bad, but also I can't feel bad because of what he was doing in this book. Like terrible. Hate Tamora, hate her sons, literally the worst characters ever. Like also what I didn't like is how Lavinia is like an object through the whole play, because in the beginning of the play, first of all, that made me mad because why did Titus, because Lavinia basically, she had a guy she was engaged to. She was engaged to Saturnius's younger brother, and he knows that. And so first he makes Saturnius the leader of Rome, which is like, okay. And then he tells Lavinia that then he's like, oh, you're gonna marry my daughter Lavinia. It's like, she was already engaged to his brother. Why would you do that? That didn't make any sense to me, especially because you already made him king of like emperor of Rome. Why do you need to make your daughter marry him, especially if she's married to his brother? That doesn't make any sense to me. It didn't even seem like the guy didn't even like ask for it. It was so weird. I thought it was so dumb. And then she gets kidnapped. I don't know. I guess she does get kidnapped to go get with the one guy, but she seems to like the other guy. I don't know. It seems like the whole family was against Titus doing that. But first of all, Titus, why did you do that? Because now Saturnius hates you because your family kidnapped Lavinia. But it's like he didn't know they were gonna do that. But still, I thought that was so stupid. Like, Titus, be so for real right now. And then Saturnius like getting so mad, like, bro, he literally made you king of Rome, and you like Tamora anyway. So like, I'm not gonna say everything wouldn't have happened if Titus didn't promise Saturnius that Lavinia would marry him, but I'm just saying, like, I think things would have gone down way better if he didn't, because Saturnius would hate him less. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. Like, why would you even promise her to marry him? I definitely feel like things would have, like, I don't know, maybe Tamora definitely would have still been after them, but I definitely feel like it would have gone better. It would have gone better. Like, he would have liked Titus more and stuff. That's what I have to say about that. And then the final book I read this year is The Viscount Who Loved Me. It's the second Bridgerton book. I didn't read the first one because I don't care about them. Be so for real. Like, they were even in this book, and I was like, don't care about that couple. Literally don't care. And I like this more than the show. I don't know, because I like this book because I feel like it has more romance. I really liked the trope they went with in this book, instead of, because I did not like how in the show he was engaged to like Edwina for the majority of it. That just made me mad. It wasn't like I was just stressed the whole season. Like, you guys were just like making me mad. But like I did like the book better because I didn't have that. Like, I liked what the book did instead for the latter half of it. But Anthony in the book, like, they definitely changed him up, because in the book he literally says, he's like, oh yeah, I would, because Kate basically hears him talking to that like opera lady, and because she's like hiding under her table, and she hears him basically say he'll cheat on his wife if he doesn't love her, and he doesn't. And so she asks him, she's like, when she finally comes out of from under the desk, I guess, she's like, oh, like, so you're gonna cheat on Edwina? He's like, I'll cheat on my wife if I don't love her. And she's like, do you love Edwina? He's like, exactly. So you're saying you cheat on Edwina? Like, I no wonder. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want you to marry my sister either, turd. Like, I did not like that. And then also he always says stuff about women, which makes sense because of the time period. I'm just saying, like, it's definitely good they take that out of the show, because we didn't need Jonathan Bailey kicking Kate in the stomach. Yeah, that's right. He does kick her in the stomach at one point. And like, it's supposed to be a joke thing because she's like hiding under the desk, and I don't know if she bites him or just grabs his leg really hard. He thought that she bit him, but I feel like she definitely just grabbed his leg, and then he kicks her in the stomach to get her off of him, and which is crazy. Like, they're not, like, they would not do that in the show. That would literally be insane. Like, it's one thing to read it. Like, I feel like books can definitely get away with way more problematic behavior than movies can, because like if you did that in a movie, that would literally be insane. Or show, sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about books that I read but that I don't have with me. The first book, I think this is the first book I read in the year, is The Three Body Problem. I read that for my book club too. I think the theme was like science fiction or something. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I thought it was fine. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like a sci-fi girl though. You know what I mean? So I wasn't too into it, but honestly, I don't really remember that much of what happened in it either. But yeah, I just read it for my book club. Um Low key, like I think I definitely got bored, but like it was interesting, especially when, because in the book club we talked about like the historical context, so I feel like it was more interesting with that in mind. But yeah, when I first read it, I was like, I thought it was just okay. Also I read the first Twilight, which I actually really liked it. Because is it trash? Yes. But did I enjoy it? Yes. Like it was actually really good. And also I was not expecting Bella to be that horned up. Like I didn't, because I feel like in the movie she is, but like in the book, like you feel it. Like she, like that book is horny. And also Edward in the book is way different than Edward in the movies. Like Robert Pattinson plays him really well though. Like also so does what's her face? I forget her name. I feel bad. Kristen Stewart. Like I think they played the characters better than in the book. Like I dislike the book characters way more than I dislike the movie characters. Like Bella's annoying in the movies, but in the books, ooh, oh my gosh, yeah. They did the best with what they got. They did the best with what they got. Yeah, I praise them. I praise them. Also, I read Master and Margarita. I loved that book. I've never read a Russian novel that isn't good. Never read one. This book is so good. And like I liked it so much that I literally read essays afterwards so that I could understand it more. I was surprised though by the one guy whose name is, I'll put it up on the, well, I don't know if okay, because I was like, why are they calling him that? Like, are they calling him the slur, the F slur? Yeah, that's what his name is. That's literally what his name is the F slur. But I googled it and apparently that is like the Russian word for a certain instrument. I don't know what instrument. I'll have to put it up on the screen. But yeah, like that is his name. And I'm assuming it's not pronounced the way that the slur is pronounced. It was just spelled that way. So when they called him that, I was like, oh, we're calling that. Also, I've decided that when I have a so I have a crayon. That's what I wrote my list down of books I read because I didn't have anything else near me. Also, when I get a black cat, just like I said I've named my orange cat Marcellus, I definitely will name my black cat Behemoth. I think literally it's like, but yeah, that book was so good. I literally read essays afterwards because I loved it so much. Honestly, it made me tear up by the end and I don't know why. Like the ending scene where like they're like walking up with like hand in hand, like I don't know why. It was just so good. And I wasn't even bored by the like parts where they were back in time. Like I still really enjoy the parts. The book is just so interesting, and I feel like it would slay as a TV show or a movie. Well, if I made it, because I have a good vision. I have a vision. I also read The Lightning Thief because I was kind of in a book slump, and so I needed something fun to get me back in the mood. And I hadn't read The Lightning Thief for a long time, like since I was a kid. So I read that, and it was really good. I already knew it was really good, but yeah, it was just nice to reread it. And I feel like I know people who tell me they're like, oh, I want to get into reading, but I get bored, and I'm like, read Percy Jackson or something, and they're like, it's a kid's book, and I'm like, okay, it's a book. Like, you want to get into reading, like read some, I don't know, read something easy, like read something you liked as a kid, like Dork Diaries or Dear Dumb Diary or Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like there's so like, okay, they're kids books, but they're still fun to read and they're enjoyable and they're what get people into reading when they're young, you know what I mean? Like read Harry Potter. I know like J.K. Rowling, like, but you know, if you see it at like Half Price Books or the library, that I don't think that's that big of a deal. Like, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just read something easy. Like, read something fun. Like, who cares if it's not, you don't need, if you want to get into reading, why are you reading like The Picture of Dorian Gray? Like, you're gonna hate reading if that's the first book you're getting into. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe somebody was like, I didn't read for 10 years and then I read Picture of Dorian Gray and I loved it. You do you, boo. Like, if that was the first book I ever read after not reading for 10 years, I would never read again. Like, trust, like, I would not read again after that book. Like, you have to be a reader to read that book, I feel like, because that book is like, at least sorry, unpopular opinion, like that book is kind of a slog to get through. A lot of classics are, honestly, because low-key most classics are just like men trying to like low-key just talking about their philosophy. You know what I mean? Like, low-key, that's what a lot of those, like, old books are. It's just people, like, waxing poetic about their philosophy and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. Read The Lightning Thief if you're in a book slump or something, or, like, read something fun. I want to read all the rest of the books, because I've never read all of them. I read some of them, but I never read all of them, so I want to read all of them. I also read Ice Planet Barbarians, which was it trashy? Yeah. But did I enjoy it? Also, yes. Because here's the thing. I've only read the first 2.5 Aquatars, okay? I've yet to finish the third one. But I read it. What's funny is I read the first 2 in, like, 3 or 4 days. Like, I was into it. But, like, everyone told me, they're like, oh, it's very porn. And I read it, and no, it's not. I was like, what type of porn are you guys reading? Because that is not very porn. Like, it's fade to black sex scenes. I'm so sorry. That is not very porn. I heard later on, though, in the later books, it does get very spicy. But in those first 2 books, it is not spicy. So, like, I didn't believe people when they said, like, Ice Planet Barbarians, like, was spicy. And, like, here's my thing. I have a very big, like, I've been writing AO3 and Wattpad since I was a kid, so, like, what's spicy to me might not be what's spicy to everyone else, but, like, to me, it needs to be spicy. And, yeah, the Ice Planet Barbarians, like, yeah, that'll do it. Like, that is definitely a whole, it was definitely a lot. Like, honestly, I enjoyed it, though. I mean, he wasn't that much of a monster. Like, I'd get with him. I don't care. Okay, I also read the Cher memoir. I thought that was so good. I actually hate the heat and I hate driving, so I would hate LA, but the book did make me want to go to LA. Like, it was honestly very sad. It was also so interesting, like, hear about her, because she talks about her grandmother and her mother's lives first, and it's literally so insane. Like, there's a part where she talks about how Cher's grandma was getting divorced from Cher's grandfather. So Cher, and this was when Cher's mom and uncle were, like, little kids, and apparently Cher's grandfather tried to kill both the kids by, like, with, like, CO2 poisoning, I think is what they said. And, like, and then he, like, ran away, and Cher's mom managed to get her and the uncle out safely, obviously, because Cher's alive. And, he didn't get arrested for it, because I'm assuming, because here's my opinion, like, because it's in the olden times, like, 50s or something, so, like, my imagination is, like, the police were like, well, he didn't hurt you, and you guys are both alive, so just leave him alone. You know what I mean? Like, because he didn't get in trouble for it. And I was like, I'm assuming the reason why is because, like, they weren't physically hurt. Like, they're like, well, you aren't murdered, and, like, you look okay, so I don't know, leave him alone. You know what I mean? And why are you trying to divorce your husband anyway? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I imagine is probably what went on and why he didn't get in trouble for that. But yeah, and then what's crazy is Cher's mom is, like, in school or something, and then Cher's grandfather, like, gets sick. I don't know why. He just, like, something happens, and Cher's mom literally leaves college or something to help him. And I just thought that was so crazy, because, like, girl, he literally tried to murder you, and you're like, I don't know. It's just so crazy and so interesting to hear about, like, and I had never really listened to Cher's music before that, and it made me super, and I love her outfits. Like, yeah, I just really like the book. Also, I did not like the one dude, her husband, what's his face? What's his name? Sorry if that's disrespectful, because he passed away, but, like, Sonny. Yeah. Did not like that. Did not like that relationship. And I know this is in retrospect, but, like, I didn't know anything about them, and I still was like, I also read Trials of the Sun Queen. That was, like, another book club pick, kind of. Not like my school book club, like, I'm in, but, like, an online Discord book club I'm in. And I thought that was good. Like, I mean, it's like a Hunger Games thing, like, wait, no, it's not. It's basically women competing to be the Sun Queen. And, I don't know, I really liked it. One thing, okay, but I'm reading the second one, and I never finished it, but, like, low-key, it's because there's this one dude, and he has a nickname for the main girl, and I hate it so much. Like, it actually makes me really mad. Like, it's not funny. It's, yeah, it just, like, makes me really mad. So, like, it's kind of hard for me to, like, finish it. I'm not saying I don't like the couple. I'm just saying it's annoying to read sometimes. Like, it can't, so that's why I haven't finished the second one. I do want to finish the second one because I feel like I'm almost done with it, but, like, yeah. Okay, and then next I read New Moon. Bella, like, she made me mad. Also, I actually really like Jacob. Like, I was not expecting it, but I loved Jacob in this book until he became a werewolf. Then he was kind of annoying, but, like, before that, he was so sweet. And, like, I get why people, no, actually, I still don't get why people like him and Bella together, because I feel like Jacob was too good for Bella. Like, she was only into him because Edward wasn't there. So, no, he deserves better than that. I would do Jacob right. I really liked Jacob, so I felt so, and I was so annoyed by Bella. That book was just super annoying. Like, it was very annoying. especially because it's so obvious Bella isn't really into him. She's just upset that Edward's gone. So like that's why I'm not a in the movies it's just because Jacob's annoying and I like Edward better, but in the books I like Jacob better than Edward, but I think Jacob is too good for Bella. So that is why I'm still not a Bella x Jacob shipper. Could not do it. Could not do it. He deserves better than that. Okay, not her daughter though. Not her daughter though. Okay, next I read The Lion Game. It's by Sarah Shepard. Whoa. She wrote PLL. The Lion Game, it was good. It was fine. I kind of hated because basically the thing is like it's told at the perspective as the dead girl because basically it's about these twins that got like separated at birth, and then one is like this popular girl, this rich girl, and then the other is like a girl who's been like back and forth in foster care. And the older sister or the rich sister is like murdered, so like, and the younger sister or the other twin takes her identity and is like trying to find out who her murderer is. And I did not like the plot point that like we are basically told the story from the perspective of the dead sister, like she's a ghost and she's like watching everything happen, and that's the perspective of the story. So I did not like that. First of all, I like to think like if we were just told it from the sister's perspective, we could always be have in our minds like, oh well, what if the sister is still alive and she's pranking her younger sister? Because that's the type of pranks they would pull because they're mean girls. You know what I mean? Like it would just be so much more interesting if we didn't know if she was alive or not. You know what I mean? And then they can't reveal she's dead. I didn't like that. And then also like there's flashbacks, but I feel like we still could have gotten the flashbacks without doing that. You know what I mean? Like we didn't need I just thought it was so dumb. That's the only thing that annoyed me about the book. Okay, I also read PLL. I really liked it. I'm gonna read the rest of the PLLs. I thought it was just really fun to read. The only problem is it's different though, because it's pretty different from the show. But I still think it's really interesting, and I like how it's like subtly changed but not super changed. And it's so weird though, because like Mona is a blonde in the book, and like it just confuses me. Yeah, there's a lot of books though, so there's gonna be a lot for me to get through, but I'm excited because I really liked it and I really like PLO. Next I read The Importance of Being Earnest and Other Classic Plays by oh my gosh, who wrote Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde tried not to be sexist challenge. Impossible. Because literally, why is he so sexist? Literally in every single, isn't he not interested in women? Why don't you leave women alone? If you're not interested in women, why are you being like, why do you care so much to be sexist to them? It's so annoying. Like there's this, I forget one of the plays though. I wish I still had the book. I think I might have taken a photo of it. If I did, I'll put it up. If I didn't, I'm gonna be mad. But like or maybe I'll Google it. No, I don't know, because I don't know all the names of the plays in the book. But it was so annoying because there's literally a play in the book where like the lesson is like, yes, and I've learned that women need to be subservient and that they need to always forgive their men for everything they do. Oh, like I did not like that book. I don't know. I liked the plays more than The Picture of Dorian Gray because it didn't give him a chance to yap about nothing as much. But like I was not into it. He's so sexist. Literally, he's so annoying. Or like the books were fine though, like they were fine. I think I did enjoy reading them more than Picture of Dorian Gray, but I still was not a fan. I still was not that into it, and I didn't like the sexism. And I know like, and I read a lot of old books, so I'm used to sexism in books, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say, because my favorite book is No Longer Human, okay, and that guy is sexist in the book, you know what I mean? Like, so I do get it. I'm just saying if I didn't enjoy the rest of the book, that doesn't help, you know what I mean? Sorry, I know he's a really popular author. I'm not saying he's a bad writer because he's a good writer. I'm just saying his books aren't that fun to read for me. Okay, next I read Jane Eyre. I loved this book. I want to read all the Bronte sisters books because I loved it. And I actually enjoyed it more than all the Jane Austen books I've read. Now, I have not read Pride and Prejudice, but I have read Persuasion, and I read something else. I don't remember. But like I definitely enjoy this book so much more. Like it was just, oh my gosh, it was so like, is it kind of problematic? Yeah, because the age difference is, I think he's like 40 and she's like 18, but I still really enjoyed the book and I thought it was so good. And I feel like it's again Mademoiselle de Maupin, where like it has a lot of flowery language, but it's not too much to where it's hard to read. And also I've noticed that a lot of female authors don't do that thing that a lot of male classic authors do, where they like wax poetic about their philosophy. So I enjoy that. Like they still have philosophy and lessons in it, but yeah, they don't yap as much about random stuff that we don't care about, like get off topic as much. Maybe it's just because they're not being paid by the word, because I feel like a lot of authors, like I know the guy Victor Hugo, like he was paid by the word, so he had all that extra crap in Les Mis that was not needed. But yeah, I really like Jane Eyre. I thought it was so good. I want to read all the rest of their stories. I thought they were so interesting, and they were sweet. I don't know, it's not sweet, but like I enjoyed it. So I also read The Chai Effect. Do not be deceived. This is not a cozy book. Like, I thought this book was going to be cozy, and it was not cozy. I don't know. I feel like it's the description. Also, I did not like the main girl at first, but I actually loved her by the end of the book. I felt like, because I'm a woman, it's basically about this, like, girl who's, she's getting her master's in engineering, and so she goes home to, like, study and work on her thesis, but there's, like, a band underground in her basement living with her, because her grandma, like, rented it out. Yeah, I thought it was very, very good. Yeah, I wasn't into the romance at first either, and I thought she was just way too mean to him. Like, it didn't, in my opinion, it didn't make sense why she was so mean to him at first, because he was helping her. But low-key, sometimes I feel like the reason why I didn't like her is because she reflected too much of myself back to me, because I can't act like I wouldn't be that rude. I'm not gonna lie, like, sometimes I am that rude. So I was like, wait, maybe I just don't like that I feel called out. But yeah, so I really liked it, and honestly, because I'm in engineering, and the struggles she talks about are so real. Like, people not listening to you, they think you're stupid, they think you're mean, like, they'll steal your ideas. Like, and then if you do good, they're like, oh, well, it's because you're a minority woman. Like, it's DI, like, or maybe it's just because I'm good at what I'm doing. Maybe it's that. Can it not be that? You know what I mean? Makes me mad. I don't think the romance was the most interesting part of that book. I thought the other parts were good, and then I liked the romance by the end of the book. But you know what? It took me some convincing to like the romance. Okay, and then the other book I read is Lolita. Oh my gosh. Poor her, but like poor Lolita, like, bro. Maybe I shouldn't even call her that because it's not her name. That's his freaking nickname. I will say though, the beginning of the book kind of is it. Like, what does he say? Oh my gosh, I wish I had it. Lolita lied to my, like, Oh wait, he goes Lolita, Lolita. You know what I mean? Like, it, like, the beginning of the book kind of slays. Like, it does slay. Like, light of my light, fire of my loins. Like, it does slay. And then you remember he's talking about a 12-year-old. So you're like, yeah. Hate the main character. Hate him. Worst main character I've ever read in my life. But you know what? He's supposed to be. And, I'm gonna be completely honest. If you think this book is promoting pedophilia, you are illiterate. I'm so sorry to tell you that. Like, you're illiterate. And I won't go into any detail. Also, I was surprised that this book is, like, actually pretty explicit. Like, I don't know why. I thought the stuff would be more, like, fade to black, hidden. No. He, like, goes in detail on his fantasies. But yeah, this book is very controversial, and I can see why. I really liked it. I feel, honestly, also, this made me think, like, if I had a kid, if I had a kid and I for some reason didn't have a husband, like if we were divorced or like he passed away, I don't know if I could date a man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I, you know what I mean? It's just, it, like, oh my gosh, it's more of a horror book. Like, that's probably the most, like, one of the most disturbing books I've ever read. And I love me horror. Okay, I read horror all the time. I watch horror all the time. That was very disturbing. Okay, and I watched Tusk. I didn't even think that movie was that disturbing. I thought it was, like, light work, no reaction. Okay, like, I like me some, well, okay, I don't like disturbing movies that much. I don't watch them. But yeah, the book was, I thought it was very disturbing. And but I thought it was a really good book. Yet again, Russian authors stay slaying. Russian authors stay slaying. Always good. I've never yet to read a bad book from a Russian author. Oh, I have books I'm reading. I don't have them with me because I'm lazy. I actually got some of these books over Christmas, but they're downstairs, so that's why I don't have them. But yeah. So right now I'm reading 3 books because I have this book called Hunted that we're reading from my book club in January, and then I'm also reading The Diary of Laura Palmer. Oh my gosh, poor Laura. And then I'm also reading The Romanovs, which is a huge book about the Romanov family because I really like Russian history. Like, I was obsessed with Russian history when I was a kid, like, especially in middle school. So I thought I might as well read it. Like, I'm reading 3 books at once, which I usually try to keep it to 2 books at once, like I said. But yeah, I'm not following that rule right now. And I think the Romanovs book is going to take me a while anyway, so might as well. I'm still deciding what books I want to bring to Korea, because I feel like I shouldn't bring that many, because it's just going to weigh down my stuff, and then I'm going to have to pay a lot of money at the airport. Or I have to, like, rent them on my library book or something. Also, can I just say, because I got really annoyed about this, please do not correct me. Also, Lolita. Why? The main guy's name is Humbert. Literally, I hate him. I hate him so much. And like, your name being Humbert, like, be so for it right now. That is the worst name ever. And he kept responding to talking about himself in third person me. He's like Humbert, the big gorilla, or like whatever he calls himself. Because he was like talking about his big hairy hands and stuff, like, ugh, gross. And honestly, like, his name already grossed me out, but then I got even more mad because in my book club, I was talking about how I was reading Lolita and how I hate the name Humbert. And then one of the guys in my book club had to be like, actually, this is his real name because the author, because their names were changed to, like, for their, to keep their, like, identities anonymous. Oh, and they're like, yeah, and Lolita's name isn't really Dolores. It's something else, but like, that made me so mad because, like, first of all, I don't read forewords. I'm so sorry. I'll read an introduction. I don't read forewords because every other foreword I've seen was like, oh, this book is dedicated to blah, 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 blah. So I didn't read it. Sorry, sue me. Jeez, like, I just thought that was stupid to correct me. Sorry, I don't like being corrected, and I felt like that was annoying. Especially because I'm, like, okay, his name isn't really Humber, but that's the name that I'm reading. So, like, yeah, I'm going to be annoyed when I see it all the time because it's a stupid name. And, I mean, I think maybe it was supposed to be stupid, or, like, I don't know. I feel like they describe why it's Humbert at the end of the book, but I don't really remember. Anyways, that made me mad. Don't correct me. Sorry. Okay, I'm done.